Okay, so I know you guys see the title of this video, and yes, I am getting the COVID vaccine. My appointment is in 15 minutes, so I wanted to do like a pre-clip before this shot and justify why I'm getting this vaccine. As some of you may know, or you don't, that I am a dental hygienist, and dental hygiene is the number one at risk for getting coronavirus, because we're working with patients and their saliva and their, we're like in their face. Of course, we're wearing masks, 2 masks and a shield and everything like that, but of course it's still high risk when we're working with our patients. So that's one. My other justification is that I have been talking to many of my patients and my nurse friends, and some of my patients are doctors, and some of them are nurse practitioners, and most of them said that they've gotten their first shot already. Of course, there are 2 shots. They gotten their first shot already, and they have been feeling fine, and no one has said that they've had any adverse effects or anything crazy other than a very, very sore arm, including this one older patient that I had earlier last week. Of course, I don't know what the effects are after the second shot, because I don't get to see those people until another 6 months when I clean their teeth. But I have been collecting data, and most doctors and nurses, nurse practitioners, and people in the healthcare field has gotten their first vaccine. With that being said, and along with my own personal views of this vaccine, I think this is probably the best way to stop this pandemic. I feel like if you weigh the risk of getting COVID versus getting a vaccine, getting COVID, the risks are way higher, including the side effects and the long-term effects of COVID. And the only reason I know a good amount of this is because I'm constantly collecting data from my patients, asking them, so who do you know that's had COVID? Or do you know someone who's had COVID? Or what happened to them, and how are their symptoms? How are your symptoms? And one of the main thing for me is that this was a couple months ago. My patient was talking to my boss when he did his exam or whatever, and he told my boss that he was losing hair, even though he's gotten over the major symptoms of COVID, but he's now losing hair, which is kind of odd to me, because you don't hear that in the news, and you don't hear that, you don't read that on CDC, and I didn't see that. So I think it was weird that he had said that. Of course, I made a note about it. And then earlier on, and then a few weeks ago, one of my friends, who I shall not name, one of my friends told me that she has been losing hair, and she had COVID in September. And she's been losing a ton of hair in a way where it's like clumps of hair falling out in the shower, which is also insane to me, because why isn't this being made known as well? Because I guess this, this virus is so new, they're not collecting data on that yet. Anyways, so putting all these data together just makes me weigh the risks, the pros and cons. Of course, these people, they're gonna get their hair back eventually, but why can't we just prevent it in the first place? And then there's worst case scenario for this vaccine is getting sick or having adverse reactions, which if you already have severe allergies to medications, then it's probably not the best way to go about with this whole pandemic. Maybe you should just wait it out at home. But if you don't have any adverse severe allergic reactions, I think the vaccine is probably the best way to go. Even though it is very new, the effectiveness is quite high. It's like 95% for Pfizer, and then the other one is like 94% for Moderna. But of course, do your research and don't just listen to somebody off the internet. Of course, do your research, read multiple sources, read reliable, credible resources as well. Anyways, guys, I'm going to come back in a little bit and let you guys know my experience, and wish me luck. I'm not nervous. I'm just a little bit nervous, just a little bit, just a tad. But Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go in for my appointment and I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. And your girl's feeling okay. So far, so good. Let me just go ahead and show you guys my vaccination card. That is my vaccination card. On here it shows you the date of your vaccination and it shows you what type of vaccination you got, and then on the back side it shows me when I come back for the second dose. So that line was, my appointment was at 12, so the line wasn't that bad when I had gotten there. I had to wait maybe about, I don't know, maybe like 20-25 minutes or so, and the line was moving pretty quick. Yeah, so I get there, they reiterate what I had already signed, they go over everything, and if I had any questions then I asked her there. And I did have to wait 15 minutes after my shot just to see if there were any severe allergic reactions. They would take care of it then and there, but I'm good. I met a lady in line that works with deaf and blind kids, and she said that her good friend's grandfather recently got COVID for a second time, and he is an anti-masker. So when he got COVID the first time, he had very mild symptoms, which was a couple months ago, she said. And recently he got COVID for the second time, which was around Christmas time. And now his symptoms are more severe. He's gotten past the major symptoms, but currently he's on an oxygen tank, which is completely terrifying to me to think that you can actually get this a second time and be, your immune system's weak and it's trying to fight off your symptoms again for a second time. If I can prevent that with a vaccine, let's go ahead and do it. Okay? Because you just have to weigh out the pros and cons. And also I feel like because I have the resources I do, I'm able to talk to my patients and friends. I'm willing to talk to these people and collect my data. I know more information than the basic person would. The basic person wouldn't have the opportunity to talk to people and get information from them. But each day I see about 7 to 8 patients and might as well talk to these people to see what they know or what they've experienced with this problem. I don't know if any of y'all have heard the Instagram page Next Shark. It's a very credible source of information. They recently showed this 81-year-old Japanese lady, congresswoman, I believe in LA. She died from COVID contraction a second time. She didn't die the first time she had COVID. Her immune system was able to fight that off, but the second time around, she wasn't. So when you put all these statistics together and you weigh the pros and the cons of getting the vaccine and what people hear, on top of the hospitals being full, and if you do end up getting COVID and you do have severe symptoms, who's gonna take care of you if the hospitals are full? I'll wait. So the worst case scenario with the vaccine, of course, do your research. Worst case scenario is a severe allergic reaction, which you shouldn't. Just listen to your healthcare providers. If you already have severe allergic reactions to medications, then don't get it. But if that's the worst case scenario, severe allergic reaction, or symptoms of a flu, which is like headache, fever. I believe those are the main: fever, headache, body ache. I think those are the 3 major symptoms. And then it goes away. They're not permanent. Weigh your pros and cons. Anyways, I hope that everything's gonna be okay. Every hour that goes by, it's a celebration, and every day that goes by, it's a celebration. And then after the second dose, I will check in on you guys and let you guys know what will happen. So I actually don't know when I'm gonna upload this video yet. I don't know if I'm gonna do a part 1 or a part 2, but I will keep you guys updated on everything. I hope I informed you guys on a little bit of something. I hope it was knowledgeable, at least a little bit. And if you did, remember to give me a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.